your life, Stoic philosophy. Welcome to Stoic Citadel. Respect isn't something you can demand. It's something you earn through integrity, discipline, and self-respect. If any of these 6 habits are a part of your life, it's time to eliminate them. Only then can you truly command the respect you deserve. Let's be brutally honest. Most people won't respect you, no matter how hard you try, unless you remove these toxic habits. The truth about respect. You can work tirelessly, sacrifice your own needs, and still find yourself overlooked. Why? Because respect isn't just about your actions. It's about who you are and the daily habits you embrace. I had to learn this the hard way. I used to think being overly nice, agreeable, and constantly available would earn respect. Instead, it made me smaller in the eyes of others. Respect starts from within. When I stopped making excuses and seeking validation, everything began to change. The moment you stop trying to please everyone and start respecting yourself, the world will follow suit. Respect is a mirror of your self-worth, and it's time to take a hard look in that mirror. But before we begin, please like and subscribe to this channel for more insightful content from us. Habit 1. Making excuses. Making excuses is the quickest way to lose respect. We've all done it. Blamed traffic, a colleague, or life itself for our shortcomings. Me for who I am, I thought. But my wrinkled clothes and unkempt appearance told a different story. One day, I walked into an important event looking disheveled and immediately felt the shift in how others treated me. I wasn't taken seriously, and I realized I was sabotaging myself. Your appearance is a form of non-verbal communication. It's not about vanity. It's about self-respect. When you put effort into your appearance, you're telling the world, I value myself, and I take this seriously. Respect yourself enough to present the best version of you, and others will follow suit. Habit 4. Ignoring boundaries. Nothing destroys respect faster than ignoring someone's boundaries. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. When you dismiss them, you're telling people that their comfort, feelings, and space don't matter to you. I used to think being overly involved was a sign of caring. offering unsolicited advice, or constantly checking in felt like being a good friend. In reality, I was overstepping. People began pulling away, and I couldn't figure out why. Over time, I learned that respecting others' boundaries is non-negotiable. It shows you value them as individuals, not as extensions of yourself. Start listening and observing. Ask for permission before offering advice. Respect their need for space. When you honor boundaries, you'll find that respect is reciprocated, but here's the reality. It was suffocating. Because I didn't understand or respect other people's boundaries, they didn't respect me in return. It was a tough pill to swallow, but once I realized that respecting boundaries is actually a form of respect itself, everything changed. There was a time when I had a close friend who started pulling away from me, and I couldn't figure out why. I'd call her every day, text her about every little thing, and constantly invite myself into her problems. I thought I was helping, but in reality, I was crossing boundaries without even realizing it. One day, she confronted me and said, "I just need some space. It feels like you don't understand that." It hit me like a brick. I had completely ignored her need for boundaries, and in doing so, I lost her trust and respect. Here's the thing, boundaries aren't barriers, they're healthy limits. They're a way for people to protect their mental, emotional, and physical space. When you ignore someone's boundaries, what you're really saying is, "I don't care about your comfort. I care more about my needs." And let's be honest, who's going to respect someone who operates like that? Ignoring boundaries isn't just about being pushy. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of respect. Respect isn't just about being polite or kind. It's about recognizing and honoring someone's autonomy. It's about realizing that people are allowed to have space, to say no, and to set limits, without you taking it personally. When you respect someone's boundaries, you're acknowledging that they are their own person with their own needs and limits. And when you can do that, respect naturally follows. I had to learn to step back and let people come to me when they were ready, to give them the space they needed without feeling the urge to insert myself into every situation. And here's the funny thing, when I started respecting other people's boundaries, they started respecting me more. Relationships became stronger, more genuine, and I was no longer seen as the person who couldn't take a hint. But ignoring boundaries doesn't just happen in personal relationships. It shows up in the workplace too. Maybe you have a coworker who prefers working independently, but you keep pushing them for constant updates or input. Or perhaps you have a boss who values direct communication, but you flood them with unnecessary information, overstepping the boundary of their time. In these situations, you're not just annoying people. You're losing their respect because you're not respecting their time, space, or preferences. Habit 5. Seeking constant validation. If you're always looking for approval from others, you'll never be respected. Validation seeking shows insecurity and a lack of self-confidence. People respect those who trust their own judgment and don't need external reinforcement to feel worthy. I spent years chasing validation, constantly asking others for their opinions and approval. It was exhausting, and it didn't work. People began to see me as unsure and dependent. When I started trusting myself, everything changed. Confidence is magnetic. Believe in your worth, and others will. Taking credit for others' work. Taking credit for someone else's work is one of the quickest ways to lose respect, not just from the person whose effort you stole, but from everyone who witnesses it. It's a dishonest, self-serving habit that will make people distrust you. And once that trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. I've been guilty of this myself. Early in my career, I was eager to make a name for myself and to stand out. In a team project, I contributed a fair amount, but one of my colleagues really went above and beyond. When it came time to present the results, I subtly framed my words to make it seem like I had done more of the heavy lifting than I actually had. I didn't outright lie, but I made sure the spotlight was on me, not the person who deserved it more. At first, it felt great. The praise was rolling in, and I was getting the recognition I craved. But here's the thing, people always find out the truth. It wasn't long before my colleague realized what had happened, and soon enough, others did too. The admiration I had basked in quickly turned to skepticism and disappointment. It was a tough lesson. Respect isn't earned through shortcuts. It's earned through integrity, collaboration, and honesty. Stealing credit isn't just about hurting others. It's about hurting yourself. When you take credit for someone else's work, you're essentially saying, I don't trust my own abilities enough to stand on my own 2 feet. It's a reflection of insecurity and fear, not strength. Here's the reality. When you take credit for someone else's efforts, you're not just stealing their work. You're stealing their sense of accomplishment. You're robbing them of the satisfaction that comes from being recognized for their contribution. And in the long run, you're burning bridges that you may never be able to rebuild. Habit 6. Avoiding responsibility. Dodging responsibility is a surefire way to lose respect. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in personal growth, avoiding accountability shows a lack of maturity and reliability. There was a time when I avoided difficult conversations and tasks, hoping someone else would handle them. People noticed, and it cost me their respect. Taking responsibility means owning your actions, decisions, and their consequences. It's not about being perfect. It's about being accountable. When you step up and take responsibility, people see you as dependable and trustworthy. They'll respect you for it, even when things go wrong. Being emotionally reactive. Being emotionally reactive is one of the most destructive habits you can have if you want to be respected. It's not just about flying off the handle in a moment of anger. It's about letting your emotions rule your actions, words, and decisions. When people see that you can't control your emotions, they'll never trust you with responsibility, leadership, or even friendship. There was a time in my life when I was a slave to my emotions. If something upsets me, I'd lash out or sulk for hours. If someone criticized me, I'd immediately get defensive, raising my voice or storming off. Looking back, it's cringeworthy. I thought I was standing up for myself or proving a point, but in reality, I was just showing everyone how little control I had over myself. Emotional reactivity isn't a sign of passion or care. It's a sign of insecurity. When you're quick to anger, tears, or any extreme emotional response, it's often because you're trying to protect something fragile within yourself, whether it's your ego, your self-image, or a fear of being hurt. But here's the harsh truth. No one respects fragility when it comes in the form of overreaction. The Stoics believed that while we can't control external events, we can always control our internal response. That's the key. Your response is your power. When you can stay calm, even in the face of criticism, stress, or confrontation, people will see you as someone with real strength. And that's where respect comes in, the path to earning respect. Respect isn't something you can demand. It's something you earn by living with integrity and self-discipline. These toxic habits, ignoring boundaries, taking credit for others' work, and being emotionally reactive, slowly erode respect until you wake up wondering why people don't take you seriously. Think about the people you admire. They aren't perfect, but they're consistent, responsible, and composed. They don't blame others or crumble under pressure. If you want respect, start by respecting yourself enough to eliminate the habits that are holding you back. In conclusion, respect isn't given. It's earned through consistent effort and self-respect. If you want to be respected, you must first respect yourself. Remove these 6 habits from your life: making excuses, being lazy, neglecting your appearance, ignoring boundaries, seeking constant validation, and avoiding responsibility. When you take control of your actions and mindset, the world will take notice. Respect begins within, and once you embody it, you'll command it from others. Start today, and watch your life transform. If enjoyed this piece of content to this point, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep getting fresh updates from the Citadel. Do well to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and check the description for mind-sharpening books from Stoic giants to make the most of 2025 and beyond. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.